Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game. So, taking on a fun, exciting, and obviously Castlevania themed video for you guys today. And that is because Mozilla sent me an email himself talking about his new Symphony of the Night randomizer. And if you're not familiar with what a randomizer is, I'll definitely get into it more in the video. But basically think of every single item you need to get to complete a playthrough of Symphony of the Night. Now imagine if those could appear in any place in the game, so long as you're actually able to get to them. That is what a randomizer is, and it basically makes a game that you've played dozens of times before feel completely new. And the big thing about this is the randomizer is completely built into the actual game menu in and of itself. You have presets and options you could basically play around with all day long, but when you actually hit the start button, you're going to generate a random seed. And what that means is it's going to shuffle absolutely everything up into the game, place it in places that you've never seen it before, and now you have to beat the game in a completely new manner. But don't worry, every single seed is going to be beatable. There is no seed where there's going to be an item behind a check that you couldn't actually get to, so you don't really have to worry about that. Before I get too far involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. And obviously there never used to be dynamite there, so you're seeing that there's a completely different set of tools, items, and implementations here than you would see in a normal vanilla game of Symphony of the Night. And honestly, stuff like this I absolutely love because I have played Symphony of the Night dozens of times in my life. I played the Saturn version, the PlayStation version, all of the different modifications and fan games made around it. It really is a special time as far as a game is concerned, in my opinion. But randomizers really just take that fun and completely turn it on its head, shuffle it up, and spit it back out into something that you've never seen before. And before this, apparently, all you had to do was basically make new versions of the game per seed, but now you're able to do that right within the menu, making this that much easier. And just so you know, this will work on real hardware if you have an optical disc emulator, and you can even burn a CD if you so want to. It'll obviously work on Mr. FPGA as well as DuckStation on the software emulation front. Now, one word of not really warning, but more of just pay attention to the directions. If you're going to save your game and come back to it, you need to write your seed number down, and that will be in the actual menu when you hit start and pause the game. You'll have to enter that seed number back in before you load your save, and then you'll be able to continue along with your progress. So don't think playing a randomizer means you have to beat the game all in one sitting, but a lot of times speedrunners will use randomizers and actually do speedruns of the game that way, so it really is 100% open to chance. Now the nice thing is there's also a map feature that'll basically have what they call checks involved. That is different areas where things could be and whether or not you've been there to check them. If you've never watched a speedrun before, especially a randomizer, they have what they call checks, and that just means that the actual player has gone to an area where an item could appear and checked as to whether or not something they needed for progression was there or not. That is a check, so the map will keep track of where you have been. That way you don't end up going back to the same spot over and over again and kind of driving yourself nuts. So as far as this randomizer is concerned, there are a ton of quality of life improvements that are really going to make playing a very fun and frustrating experience, not frustrating in a bad way, because trust me, a randomizer can be frustrating in all of the fun ways. You're thinking to yourself, oh, something must be here. You spend all the time to get all the way over to where that item could appear, and then you find out it's nothing more than just some consumable potion that'll give you some health and absolutely screws with you and messes with your head in all of the most fun ways. And take it from me, if you have another friend that loves Symphony of the Night, and I do, have them come over and play a randomizer together. I'll still remember the first time I played through the entirety of the Sega Saturn version of Symphony of the Night with a friend, completely in Japanese, and we did it from memory while sitting around on the couch drinking beer on some sort of Friday night, and it was absolutely just straight up one of the best times I've had. And a randomizer will absolutely give you that same experience whether you're alone or you have friends over for the ride, because there really isn't any way for us to wipe our memories of playing Symphony of the Night for the first time or even the 10th time and getting a fresh playthrough of the game. And considering Konami seems to have completely forgotten that Castlevania really does exist as far as new games are concerned, we're probably never going to see a Castlevania Metroidvania to this degree of excellence anytime in the future, and that just is an absolute bummer. But a randomizer, on the other hand, gives you all of that fun and all of that excitement back, but it basically just takes the same game that you know, love, and remember and completely just screws with it. I mean, getting the Axolotl armor here as an item in the outside of the castle right near the elevator, not something that generally would happen. And even though playing with the Axolotl armor on is not advisable, even though it is a pretty hilarious challenge, it's something that you're just going to experience maybe in the seed you get. What you're seeing here might not repeat for you, but it soundtrack sample one time, and I'll be right back with a ton more. I mean, is it essential to put something like a soundtrack sample in a randomizer video? Absolutely not. But anytime I can make you listen to Wood Carving Partita, one of my favorite Castlevania tracks of all time, it is just something I'm going to take advantage of. And I think I've said it in a previous video, but honestly, this game actually made me really enjoy classical music, and interestingly enough, also really made me enjoy the harpsichord, because the only time I'd ever seen or heard a harpsichord before this game was probably watching King Ralph as a kid when John Goodman played Good Golly Miss Molly on one. So it's one of those strange things. This game has influenced a ton of us, it's influenced a ton of game devs, and for some strange reason it also made me really like kind of chamber music in my real life. It's a very strange thing, but it is just an absolute truth. But that is kind of the thing about Symphony of the Night. Randomizers basically make it feel about as new as it can possibly get. And just think of how many different seeds are in there. I don't have a number, but trust me, it's a ton of digits. You could play this game on a randomizer for the rest of your life every single day and probably not go through all of the permutations of what can actually happen. Now granted, that would get boring because honestly there's only so many ways to shuffle up something before you've seen it all, but it does give this game new life. And again, if you're thinking about learning a speedrun or a randomizer speedrun, this is going to be so incredibly easy because again, it's now all built into the actual game in and of itself, just making it easier for you. So big thanks to Mozilla for not only doing the work, but sending me an email indicating he had done so. Apparently I am known for talking about Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and I am very happy for that. But randomizers definitely are a thing in gaming outside of something like Symphony of the Night. There's randomizers for Ocarina of Time, Super Metroid, and then basically a couple hundred other games. Those are just the ones that popped into my head. And if you've never played one before, definitely check one out. Maybe it won't be for you, but you have nothing to lose but time, and maybe you'll discover that you absolutely love that particular genre of how to play a game, just having everything completely mixed up and spit out the back end with no idea where things are. Now do be aware that the castle is going to have the exact same configuration. This does not randomize up the areas that you're going to, so you're still going to have the same sense of progression in the game. You're just going to be looking for items, so it kind of becomes one big Easter egg hunt, not in sort of secrets, but in actually just trying to find things like you were a kid Easter egg hunting back in the day. And anything that gives Symphony of the Night new life, absolutely 10 out of 10 in my book. And this, even though it isn't decomp based, can be run with Maria as well, who is now added as a playable character based upon some of the results of the decompilation project of Symphony of the Night. But we're going to do one more soundtrack sample because damn it, this music is good and I want to make you listen to it, and I'll be right back with more.
It's been a long time, old one.
Oh, it's you, Master Alucard. What do you need?
I need your help.
Young Master, I cannot aid one who opposes the Master.
You won't go unrewarded.
Really? In that case, just tell me what you need.
I'm interested in this.
Thank you.
Not only is the library music absolutely amazing, but some items can be in the library and sold by the librarian that you've never seen before in that actual circumstance. You definitely want to check that. And again, you'll see here there's so many different ways to modify this up. You can basically create your entirely new Symphony of the Night playthrough. Now, if you want to play this one, I have left a link in the description below to the GitHub page where you can actually download the patch, and you'll see here that's so you enter the seed number in, so you actually are able to come back to your save game. So make sure, again, you write your seed number down if you're not going to do this in one sitting. And patching the disk is incredibly easy, and the GitHub even has a link to an online web-based patcher where you can pop in your original Symphony of the Night files that you definitely own and then add the patch to them. But trust me, this is worth checking out even if you've never actually played Symphony of the Night before, but I'm pretty sure almost everyone here watching the video has played it at least once, so give a randomizer a shot. This one is 10 out of 10. It's so easy to use, and it's going to make Symphony of the Night feel about as new as possible, and that makes me very happy. But I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye-bye.